All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Confessions from the Darkside. Today's episode is going to be a little more, it's going to be a lot different. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot different. It's going to be, I would say in another word, lighthearted.
Also,
So,
it's not just light-hearted, we want to be a channel that's like a community, which we discussed from the start. That our community means a whole lot to us, whether you're the couple of people that have watched a random video or you've been there for every single one, it doesn't matter. We're
yes,
here for
we are.
all.
So today's episode is going to just be a mental health episode, especially before Thanksgiving. We will be doing this episode. We discussed on last episode, or either before or after last episode, I can't remember. But we have discussed about doing a live Twitch stream to bring the community together, to get you guys in there to interact with us, stuff like that. That's probably going to be episode before Christmas,
Yeah.
and we're going to do another episode right after the New Year's as well. But as always, guys, we do have a disclaimer. Yes, this is a lighthearted episode. This is an episode to bring the community together, but we still are lunarizing in Darcy Darkness, and we still need to have a disclaimer for you guys because we're us. That's who we are.
All we can do is warn you with a disclaimer
Yes.
before every
Yes.
episode, so you can make that informed decision on your own as adults. Am I right?
Absolutely.
I hate that.
Yes.
I hate that fucking term. Am I right?
Adults. We are two unsupervised adults.
You're supposed to be the supervised one.
Yeah, no, not happening. Ever. But today's disclaimer, guys, it will be different from any other ones that you guys heard, but a little different than before. But we are full of adult content in this podcast, and in this series of podcasts, we will get real. We will tackle things others may not. We live in a world where it doesn't even know where to be or how to be, and this can be confusing for all. If mental health issues are a trigger for you, then please feel free to skip this one, but this is part of us, and we know how difficult life can get. And this time of the year exacerbates. Yeah, it definitely does. Phew. And it can make you feel like you have no one to turn to. Well, look no further. We are here, and we can help you with that burden. We are all one big unconventional family. I probably would add dysfunctional in there as well, but we are a unconventional and dysfunctional family here at Confessions from the Dark Side, and we welcome you today to just put your feet up and just have a listen to what we have been through and what we go through and how we overcome these things. Or do we still have things that niggle at us? Of course we do. We are all only human after all. Yes. So we will be talking about subjects that can have you well put up on the naughty list. But myself can tell you that Darcy cannot be contained.
Liar! That's you. If I'm getting it, you're getting it too. You can't just put me in that basket, mate. Come on.
I'm going to throw you right in the basket, and then I'm going to make sure you put the lotion on it as well.
I thought you were going to say, I'm going to put you in the basket and then I'm going to throw you into the river. I was like, I can't swim. Don't do that to me.
This is ultimately, yes, this is a mental health episode, but we are still a horror episode, so yes, I had to use a horror pun, okay?
Just have to. It's in our DNA. We can't help it.
Right?
Exactly.
But guys, just a reminder to everyone, we will be checking in after Thanksgiving and around Christmas. Again, I've already mentioned that. And again at the new year, and coming back and forth to check up on everyone. Yes, we're going to do this periodically. We might do it quarterly, every 4 months. Or we might do it around each and every holiday that's out there, or maybe do it every 2 months just to kind of catch up with everybody, just kind of get us to bring our community together. We don't want to let anybody feel like they're left out. We don't want anybody to feel like they're not a part of us, because we, as two people just doing what we love, we want people to be there for us just as much as we want to be there for them. I myself am Lunar Rising.
And I am Darcy Darkness.
And again, guys, today's topic is going to be just discussions between Darcy and I and stuff like that for mental health, and also checking in with you guys as well, our community.
And it's also kind of a get to know me, just on both of us basically. So we can just tell you a wee bit about ourselves. And like you, Luna, has discussed before, we're both there for each other. We always check in on each other multiple times a day, through Discord and things like that. And when we're not like streaming or doing anything together, we're always asking how we each other are, and that's how we've obviously got to know each other. But we're just wanting to discuss like my kind of background, the stuff that I have to deal with on a daily basis, and obviously the stuff that Luna deals with on a daily basis as well. Just so you know that you're not the only person that could be going through something, because everybody is. Because again, like we've said, we're only human after all, and a lot of shit happens when you go through life. But we just wanted to kind of give you a kind of backstory of us, so you can kind of understand that we're not just saying that we know what you're talking about and we're talking shite, because we're not. We're talking basically, we do talk.
Personal experience.
Yeah, personal experience. Thank you. Brain fog moment. Thank you. My brain fog mascot there, like giving me words that just drop right out my head, which is
That's
something
what
that
I'm
you
here
all find
for.
out. Well, I'm not sure if you tune into my own stuff, which is behind the mash reviews. I'm very open about my diagnosis because I wasn't diagnosed until I was 30, and I'm 40 now, so it's like 10 years. I have what was classed as Asperger's, and again, you'll notice because I don't look at cameras, I can't look at cameras, I can't focus. I also have physical health problems such as SLE, which is a form of lupus, and I have rheumatoid arthritis. There's a few lists. I've got like 6 or 7 different autoimmune conditions that again go hand in hand that I have, which literally have put me in a wheelchair for about 6 years. I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. That literally stole my life. It stole my personality, it stole everything. It felt like I was literally trying to explain it to your family as well. Like my husband, he's really supportive and he has his own mental health issues as well. He's the only person who really understands because he has had to watch me go through it. Because I was fine. Well, not fine. I've been ill multiple times through life, but they always put it down to something else, like growing pains, hormones, because obviously women change, obviously, through life. And there was 2 times in childhood where I couldn't walk, and they never thought about testing me for lupus. So again, there was all of that because lupus is very hard to diagnose. Even then, it would have been really hard to diagnose, and it's genetic and hereditary as well. So it skips generations. I think we spoke about this before. The type of condition I've got, it literally skips a few generations, and then you just get wham bam hit. So, like I said, I have been waiting for and to see someone about ADHD because my husband and I both discussed there's a lot of things that are not Asperger's and not autism. It's closer to ADHD where my brain doesn't switch off and I don't sleep and I get bad insomnia to the point where I overthink to the point where I have a meltdown and it's just there's no talking me down. So I deal with meltdowns on a daily basis that I just don't have control over them. And at the moment, I'm still going through a really weird process of grief. My mum died last year suddenly due to catching COVID, having a vaccination that was dangerous on her heart already, and it just doesn't feel real still. Both my parents are no longer with us, and I'm not just processing one death, I'm processing 2. So again, I understand what it's like to lose your best friend and your friend and everything. I know what that's like. people don't think I cry or get upset because I'm autistic. That was how annoys me when people call me a robot. But I am not a robot. And as I said before, I have a lot of shit going on and I might act like I don't. But those looks can be deceiving. Is there anything else you want to add for yourself now?
Uh, growing up, I've always I've been bullied throughout school for the stuff that I liked. I am ultimately the weird kid. I grew up loving horror movies. Go figure. And growing up, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old kid, you would have thought they would have been more into cartoons and animes and and video games and stuff like that. And I grew up video games, horror movies, and then the random cartoons such as uh, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, stuff that not all ordinary kids did like. So I got picked on. Um, I was also picked on for my size. I was always a bigger kid. Done so much to try to fix myself on that. Sports. Did 13 years of soccer, 8 years of baseball, and anywhere between 2 to 4 years of football. I can't remember. Never could really lose the weight until I was in, say, middle school, high school. Uh,
What age is
finally,
that? Sorry, middle school, high school type, because we don't have
um,
that.
so let's see. Starting off, we'll start freshman year of high school, which would have been roughly around 16. Um, no, it would have been 14 because when I graduated, I was 18. Um, so I was actually the oldest kid in our class, which was actually kind of funny. I started school earlier than most people. So I actually was the oldest kid in school. When I graduated, everybody else was 17 and I was 18. Um, so throughout school, yeah, I was picked on for my size. Been bullied numerous times, physically, mentally. Uh, Ended up finding out during my soccer years when I was playing, I had a form of asthma called exercise-induced asthma, which was the stupidest thing you could actually ever think of. It's literally I had asthma due to the fact I didn't exercise. But yet I played sports regularly. So, yeah, it made no sense. Um, Grew up with a genetic heart murmur. Um, but mine was not like most heart murmurs you hear of to where it's a hole in the heart. I actually had a irregular heartbeat for my heart murmur. So, um, any kind of stimulants such as caffeine could actually throw my heartbeat into a separate rhythm than what it actually should be and could have put me into a cardiac arrest. Finally grew out of that. Last time I knew about it was about 10 years ago that I no longer had it, so that's a good thing with the amount of energy drinks that I
I was
consume
going to say
now.
that. I was just about to say that
Yeah.
should you be drinking the monsters the way you tan them? Sorry, tan
Yes.
means drinking like completely finish them. So I keep forgetting that not everybody knows the slang for Scotland, especially where I live, because it's central Scotland, so ours is even more different than everywhere else. So if in comments you can't understand it, just tell me the word and I'll explain. I really will. And
Um. Yeah, I used to drink them before they finally diagnosed that I no longer had it. And there's been a couple times that I've scared myself because I've literally felt like my heart was on fire. But now I drink them like they're water, and it's probably not a good thing for my health, but at this point in time, I don't care. And nothing's
Right.
good for anybody anymore.
See, you always say everything in moderation. See, if I want something to eat, even when I was keto and stuff, and it was not keto, I'd say if my body's usually telling me it wants it to the point where it's literally nothing is going to stave away this hunger, but that I'll fucking have it. I don't
Yeah.
care, and that's why I say to people, everything in moderation. Just
Let's see. At 16, I lost my grandfather, who basically was my father growing up.
remember to use S or M or things like that. Remember, because I'll have to cut out stuff.
Yes. He passed away due to a brain aneurysm that is genetic through our male side of my mom's side of the family. Every 10 years, I need to get checked. I haven't been checked lately. I honestly feel like it's more out of fear than anything that I haven't been checked since I got checked at 16. So far I'm coming close to 2 years supposed to be checked. 36 would be the second year. And I probably will end up getting checked then. But as of right now, at 26, I didn't get checked. Again, it was more out of fear than anything. 22, went through my first divorce.
I've not even had one, man, and I'm just like, oh my god, seriously.
Yeah, I went through my first divorce. Not a happy time. Then my grandmother, as for the last 6 years, was recently diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's. If anybody has family that's going through it, I feel your pain. It's definitely not easy to watch somebody forget who you are, especially when you grew up with them. 2 years ago, 2 years or last year, I think it was 2 years ago. My uncle had committed S. No rhyme or reason why. Didn't leave a note. Left 2 kids behind. It breaks my heart. He was a great guy. He was always the life of the party. He was always the one who loved to crack jokes. Anybody from the U.S., especially in some of the southern states, if you guys are listening, you guys probably know what snipe hunting is. I have been subjected to snipe hunting, and yeah, he was the one who did it. So I miss him dearly. he was he was he was my uncle, but he was ultimately an older brother as well, just because he was somebody that I knew if I need something, I could talk to him
Was he the
about.
clown?
No, no, no. That was my aunt's husband's dad.
Ah,
Yeah, no, he was a great guy too. He was a clown for the circus. So he was always funny. He was always cracking jokes, and that was being a clown. Honestly, just was a job to him because he literally was that comical all the time. He was a great guy. I loved my I don't even know what he would be called. My great uncle. I don't know. I don't know how the lineage thing
yeah.
works.
So, what is it? Is it your aunt's uncle,
So
or
it's
I
it's
don't
my
understand
it's
it.
my
So, what's it you said?
uncle.
Was it your
It's
mum's
my one
uncle?
uncle, but he's not blood related. He's my he's married to my
Oh, right.
aunt.
Ah,
Yeah.
still family though. Still, that would still be an uncle, even though you don't share DNA. It's just
So I don't
because
know
they're
if he'd be like my
married.
second uncle. Oh,
No, if it's your aunt, if your aunt's your aunt, like your mum's sister or your dad's sister, and then it's their husband, that would be your uncle.
and then his dad. I don't know how that's judged.
That's
Yeah,
just
okay.
extended
So yeah,
family,
he was
man.
just
You just
extended family because that's who it was. He was my uncle's dad, so he was just extended family, but he was still a great guy. The other part, what I'm going through now is something I'd rather not discuss. Yeah,
not
not
right
right
now,
now. That's
anyway.
still hitting a little too close to home, literally. Um,
Exactly. When when you were talking about being bullied, I hadn't mentioned mine. Um, I I don't know if when I was speaking to you before the podcast, when I was saying that finding out that one of your bullies who made your life a misery from the age of like 4 up to 16 to tell you that you'll never get married, no one will love you, and you're repulsive. I was really thin and I couldn't help it because I just had that metabolism. So they basically said that I was too skinny and I looked like I didn't eat, and my dad drank all the money. They were literally listening to other adults talk about my family because my dad was an alcoholic. So yeah, and some of the things that have been brought to my attention by my own mother before she died. She told my husband as well. Some of the things that I was subjected to because I was in the house with my mum because I was little, obviously. So there's a few years between me and my brother, 6 years. So he was obviously out being a child, and I was at home seeing this abuse happening. So therefore, there's things that we found out that, like I had said before, my brother's got a different view of his childhood. Firstborn got everything. Firstborn, he has a different perspective of what our life was like. And because I'm autistic and I wasn't diagnosed till later on, my brain has processed everything differently to the point where sometimes I will ask you, like, are you being serious? Because I'm not always sure. Because that's the kind of the way that they didn't know I was autistic. They didn't get me support and they didn't get me help and all the stuff with being bullied. And then instead of starving myself, I was like eating loads and then puking all the time because I'd be like, I can't eat this food, and then purging stuff. That's pretty much what I was like until I went nuts and obviously took care of the problem. My dad broke me, and it sounds terrible to say it like that, but he broke me down so much on purpose because he wanted me, like, when I got older, like a couple of years later, if a bully said something to me, I wouldn't, you know, take it. I would just like kind of be like water off a duck's back, to the point where I kind of, like you said, it's just something that happens with children when you get pushed too far. I just wanted to add that in, that again,
no,
kids are
yeah, I
fucking
mean
mean,
they absolutely are.
unfortunately.
Um,
Sometimes they never learn
no, they
as
don't.
adults either.
But no, I mean, going through everything, guys. As you could tell, my background's been nothing but mental abuse from bullies. I've gotten it from family, gotten it from spouses. Darcy has had her fair share as well of the abuse in ways.
Past
Yes.
past relationships. Past
Um,
relationships. I
yes,
just wanted to clear
guys,
that
we
up.
are. This episode is not only for us to be here for you guys, but at the same time, this episode is in future mental episodes, unless we start talking about the good stuff, in which we'll get into it. But it's eventually not going to be that easy for either of us to talk about some things. But we will
Oh yeah.
always be here for you guys if you guys do have any questions or anything like that. We're gonna be here for you guys. We're gonna help you guys out the best of our abilities to be able to do so. Stuff like that. Uh, I don't have much else to say. Keep your head up, guys. Uh, we're gonna get into this podcast a little bit more, especially for the times of the years that's starting to come up, and then uh, again, we're just gonna discuss things. I mean, there are, a bunch of good stuff that has happened to me within the last year, especially the birth of my son. He is 16 months. He'll be 17 months in the 24th of November. So he's a little over a year old. That is an amazing feeling to become a parent, whether or not, you believe or you want kids or anything like that. Don't ever let anybody listen to you guys or tell you guys, oh, becoming a parent's horrible, this or that. Guys, do what you want. You guys want to become a parent, go for it. Be a parent.
Yeah, being
Because let me tell you something. It's life changing. It's honestly the best thing you could ever think of. At the same time, and this is all jokingly, it's the worst thing you can think of too. Um, Kids are definitely a lot to handle. Um, they are rambunctious, crazy, but at the same time, the end of the day, no matter what, they're adorable, they're cute, and they're your child. You're gonna so
and nothing ever matches. Sorry, nothing ever matches the happiness and the basically just everything that sounds people cheesy when I say that, but people didn't think I would be like a parent just because, like you said, a weirdo, forever
yes.
weirdo, basically. So people would just think I didn't want children. That's the thing. I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to have children. And most people in my family, women, are married by the time they turn usually their early 20s. I get married at 24.
Uh,
Yes, I
yeah.
was almost 25. So basically, people still didn't think I would, one, be married to a man, let alone, you know, it's basically people are just under the impression that they knew me and they didn't. They just thought they did. So when I was told I couldn't have kids because my condition, and it literally broke my heart because I was with my husband and I just wanted to have a baby with him. To be told that I could never do that, and I was absolutely devastated. And I think that was another thing that actually really affected my mental health when I was sick,
And
because I
look at
couldn't
you.
even do that.
You fought those odds of being told that you can't have one.
It was actually about 4 months later, and I wasn't well. I had just been to see Def Leppard, Motley Crue, and Steel Panther. I wasn't feeling well, and everything smelt funny. And about 2 weeks later, I was having the worst morning sickness ever that I had right up until I had it. And when I found out I was pregnant, we did about 13 pregnancy tests because I didn't believe it, because a doctor, a specialist, not just a doctor, a specialist told me I couldn't have a child. Not that it would be difficult to have a child, said I couldn't. And my body said, went all Barney Stinson and said,
Hold
challenge
my beer,
accepted.
as we Americans say.
Well, pretty much, yeah. And then when I found out I was pregnant, I was just like, what the fuck? You told me this wouldn't be able to happen.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Do you know what I mean? So
Just
it
to
was a
just to make
shock.
it just to make a
A
joke,
good shock.
because I've gotten very accustomed to you. I've got to hear your husband in the background, and even your little man as well in the background from time to time. There's still a coin toss, and it's still debatable if your husband's actually a male. Um, but that's only joking. That's only joking, because you guys are awesome. And I hear you guys banter all the time. So I had to make a I
See
had
if
to
you
make a
can
little
do
bit of a
that.
joke.
I don't really get along with
Yes,
women. I think
yes.
we've had that discussion before. They don't like me for some reason. I don't know why. Apparently, I'm just this big fucking threat. A married woman is a fucking threat, but who cares? A happily
That's
married
even
woman as
worse of a
well
threat.
is a fucking threat. But how
How
is
is it
it?
a threat? Because you're
Uh
happily
huh.
married. That's the threat. You're happy. That's the biggest threat.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm going to go out stealing their men or women. But still, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm
Yes.
not stealing anyone. I have my own.
But
But if someone tried to steal them, oh God, well,
I will make sure that
I'm
by the
sorry.
time that ever does happen, I will have a fully formed shelter, bunker, and a crap ton of food and rations, because I do not want to. I don't want to be here for that apocalypse.
You really think that's the
Yes.
apocalypse if that happens? Say that. My body will say challenge accept. You don't fucking do that, man. Don't wish an
I'm
apocalypse.
still waiting for the day that it's going to happen, because it's going to
No.
happen sooner or later.
Hey, when the plague happened, the apocalypse, as I call it, the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, I always kept saying, I was like, this is the apocalypse. Where the fuck are
Right?
my
I've been
zombies?
waiting for him.
Where the fuck's my virus? But nothing.
I know.
Absolutely nothing. I was fucking robbed. Fucking robbed. Is it the most wonderful time of the year, Lunar? Is it
Some
though?
would say
Is it
yes.
really
Some would say yes, it is. But it's yeah, the
the
majority. The
majority?
majority
No.
would, but it's for normal, hardworking people. It's not. It's honestly the most stressful time of the year, and
As I
that's what we're
said, you
getting
feel that.
into.
That's what I said. Like you hear that song, and then there's a feeling of dread, and well,
And usually that
oh
song
fuck,
always comes
this
from
again.
Mariah Carey. Just saying, I got to get it out there.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that. I'm actually talking about the song says it's the most
No, it's
wonderful
usually
time.
once Mariah Carey's done
That one.
thawing out and she's.
No, see when I'm sorry, but see when it was 100 days to Christmas, we hadn't even had Halloween yet. We're posting Mariah Carey memes. I was like, oh
It's
fuck.
so it's either
I said I was.
there's usually one or two people that I associate with this time of the year. It's Mariah Carey and Michael Bublé.
I don't even. I can't even tell you what he sings. I don't even know who that. I just only know because I worked in a music shop, and I had to always put out Michael Bublé
There
at
you
the
go,
Christmas that I
Christmas.
worked because apparently, yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have him over Mariah Carey any day of the week. But yeah,
I don't want anyone. I want them to. I'd rather they were shouting abuse at people and randomly just if. See, no, do you know the Pogues sing that?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Fairy Tale in New York, even though it's so fucking sad, because it actually triggers again that. See, my dad was always he tried to be the dad at Christmas and at birthdays. That's why I don't like celebrate my birthday or celebrating Christmas. Even though I'm pagan now, I don't celebrate that type of Christmas anyway. Um, that's why this time of year for me is not good because my brain, the way it's fight or flight all the time, and it's no way to live. That's what my therapist said to me when he told me I had autism. He said there's no life, no way you have to live your life, the way you've had to live it because you didn't know what was wrong. You thought you were weird, strange, eccentric, and odd, and you weren't. You were fucking autistic, basically. You were autistic, and everything was so unusual to you that when good things happened, your brain would write over it because there was far too many bad things that happened. So the bad outweighed the good. And that's what it's like. See, when I hear songs, this is what we said. See, when we watched, was it Deadly Night? Dead Night? What's the one with the guy from
Violent
Stranger
Night.
Things? Yeah, they play Slade right at the very end. I heard like one or two bars of that song, and I had to be switched off because my dad used to sing that constantly. That would be like his drunk happy song at Christmas time, and the Pogues would be sung as well. And even thinking about it right now, as you can hear, my voice is changing because this is what happens to me every time I go into a shop. Every time I'm at anything to my kids' school, they play this music, and I am literally at the back bawling like a baby and can't fucking do anything about it. And it's worse now since my mum died. That literally anything can set it off. So it's incredibly difficult, but I have my big girl pants on, as you would say in America, and I've already cried once today. I'm not going to cry again.
Yes. Some people put so much pressure on the holidays. I am not surprised. It is a stress and lonely as hell time to be surrounded by all these people, all the noise, all the things that should be fun, yet doesn't feel as it is.
I don't understand a pressure for a holiday
No,
like
neither
that,
do I.
because every generation, I sound like I'm going to start Buffy, every generation. Every generation, you've got I feel like it gets more and more stressful. Whereas, like, see, like my mum was young, wasn't about presents and stuff. It was like having a good Christmas, everybody
Yes.
being happy. And then she's slightly older, like decades later, it's like smiling that photo. Why are you not smiling? Everybody's got to stand. And it's like Lily from How I Met Your Mother making everybody stand and smile, whether you're not fucking happy
Yeah,
or not. It's just for the perfect picture, perfect
yeah.
Christmas. It sounds bad, but it's going to sound bad, but I actually say next. But see the way America portrays holidays, it makes people feel guilty in other parts of the world because we think we need these things because it's portrayed that that's what a Christmas is like in America, which is obviously not like that because not everybody. It's not like Home Alone. You've left your child alone while you piss off to fucking Paris. Do you know what I mean? Or going to New York and leaving, or is it? Do you know what I mean? Him getting lost. See the way everything's portrayed, like the perfect Christmas tree, the perfect Christmas dinner, the perfect family, everybody happy, everybody smiling.
No,
That
it
doesn't
don't.
exist.
It sure in the hell don't.
And now it's about the biggest present and who overdoes and gets
Yep,
into debt as well. Just so you can
it's about one
horrible.
upping your next door neighbor, your friends, your family. It's one upping Christmas. It's one upping the decorations. It's one upping the dinners. It's one upping everything, and it is exhausting. It's
Terrible.
exhausting. It's terrible. It's one of those things that where if it wasn't for the fact that I have a 1-year-old, we don't celebrate holidays, but we're getting into the holiday spirit now because we do have a 1-year-old and we do want him to grow up, having the enjoyment out of the holidays, instead of just two parents who are like, yeah, screw it.
We tried to do the traditional Christmas for everybody else, even though it wasn't our faith, because my mum wanted it. My mother-in-law wasn't bothered because, again, she's not Christian. And I just kept, but see all the stress, it was actually causing stress on our child. He was projectile vomiting. This was before we knew he was autistic. He was projectile vomiting because of all the stress.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? So it wasn't worth
horrible on
it.
how much stress it causes everybody.
Kids are supposed to be enjoying Christmas if it's so much enjoyment, not projectile vomiting, feeling like, oh shit, because they have to do everything and then they get like their parents let them have, it sounds bad, your parents let you have everything to the point where you vomit.
Yep, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just, and it's mental. That's right. So when we're talking about how you have to, is it one up everybody,
Yep.
isn't it? One up everybody. So your life looks better even though it's not. Well, I just wanted to describe what it's like when I was growing up, because again, I cut my family off. I completely amputated everyone who shares DNA that wasn't my child out of my life after my mum passed away, because that toxicity no one should ever have to fucking deal with. I did tell my mum before she passed away, when she eventually did go, I'm having nothing to do with them because I cannot live my life around people who would treat me like that in my family. I'm just not having that. So I wanted to just clarify this or explain that before I go into this, because it makes sense when I'm actually saying it. So, sorry, I don't know about you, but before I was diagnosed with autism, my family thought I was acting out, like through attention, doing things. And when I wasn't, my full childhood was this way. And even after my diagnosis at 30, most of my family thought it was all for attention. No, I can't fake being autistic, especially with the eye contact thing, which you can back up. You see me live streaming, I don't look at the camera. I cannot do it even when I try to. My eyes look the exact opposite direction. Have you seen it? When I'm streaming?
Yes.
Luna. Have you seen the way I look at the camera? It's
Yeah,
not like everybody
it's
else, is
definitely a
it?
lot different.
You can tell it. So it says my husband and I decided to not do this with our family and to do things we were comfortable with. Because after a certain amount of years of your child being sick all the time and not having any fun, even though it's not our celebration or how we would celebrate, we were doing it to make everybody else happy. And there were times where we just had to bite the bullet and just do it, just so we could get them to shut up. So, see at my wedding as well, I had a planned set list for my DJ, who's one of our friends, and he's very very good, because he's one of those folk that mixes stuff. And my relatives didn't like the music for my wedding, so they went into their cars and brought out all their CDs and stuff to not play the music at my wedding that I wanted on my special day. So that shows you how toxic and selfish they actually are. And I really don't care if they ever hear my podcast, because they know who the fuck they are. And I won't be naming and shaming who the fuck they are. They know who they fucking are. And this is all on them. And if they feel no guilt what they did to me and my mum and stuff like that, then that just shows you how much of a bad person it is. And that's what we're trying to explain to you here. We don't need those people, because you've got us. Wouldn't you
Yes,
agree?
I do agree.
And just want to touch on, for Halloween, this is where people start to get overpowered by their emotions. Some of us cannot either tell we are feeling this way, or we don't really know the traits, but do you know what I mean, to follow. So we were trying to say, like when we said we are going to do these podcasts, I've got a feeling we might do one. This will be before Thanksgiving, and then there'll be another one after Thanksgiving, and then the same maybe before Christmas and after Christmas type of thing. I think we'll probably do that, because this year has been a shitty year for most people. I think the past few years have been shitty for people. There's been a lot of things that have happened that are of horror movies and sci-fi movies and horror sci-fi. Basically, everything we talk about on our podcast literally has been happening for the past 3 years in our universe. So we've had a lot of shit, and now we're supposed to just get on with things after everything being so militant, man. Wouldn't you say it was militant everywhere, man? See what I mean? So there was like rules and things that you wouldn't ever expect in a world. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I wanted to just kind of round up, that when you get to Halloween, just before Halloween approaches, that's when people start to realise it's almost Thanksgiving in your case. It's almost Christmas, almost New Year. New Year in Scotland is bigger than Christmas. So it is, but that's probably one of the most loneliest times to be without your loved ones, to be honest. And that's why we thought it was a good idea to kind of touch on this, because we might not be ourselves depending on what happened to you in your childhood, or what happened to you in life that may cause you anxiety and stress and grief at this time of year. Everybody's different.
Yeah, everybody is different.
But the holidays, yep, it's like when the holidays just makes you think about those things even more. For me, literally when Halloween was over, like this morning when I woke up, I was like, fuck, we're in November. And I'm just like, ugh. Do you know what I mean? And then it'll be
Yeah.
December. Do you know? So it's kind of like, once you get that good holiday out the way, which is Halloween, it's just a preparation for feeling like shit, to be honest. And I really would like that to be
Yeah,
different, to kind of
it
turn that
definitely
around.
is, because I mean, yeah, granted, everybody does. A lot of people that I know love to go all out for Halloween. They love to do the Halloween decorations, the month of October, get everything set up, and then comes to Christmas, they don't have much of anything, because it's not as important,
Important.
entertaining as Halloween is to a lot of people. Um, Granted, I mean, anybody that has read the Bible or knows somebody who has read the Bible or has that one family member that will preach the Bible, like my mother, everybody knows the significance of what Christmas stands for, which is all fine and dandy. Um, and it's not to be, for a lot of religions, it's not just to be thrown around lightly, the all fine and dandy. I do respect all religions. Don't get me wrong. Granted, don't necessarily follow all of them, but that's a different story for another day. Uh, but it's a time to be together. It's a time to bring joy into a home and spend time with loved ones, family members, friends, and enjoy each other's company. And for a lot of us, it is now more of a stressful, lonely time. And it's hard and heartbreaking at the same time, because there are people that we'd love to spend time with on the holidays, because they may live too far away, and that's the only time that people might get time off work for that. That's so it does help a lot to be able to spend time with them, whether it's once or twice a year, stuff like that. But it's just after Halloween, everything just kind of goes into a downward spiral of stress, anxiety, depression. There's another word I'm looking for, but I can't seem to find it. But it's just a big shit show.
I just can't help you when you see if you the person who's supposed to give me all the missing words I miss, and you look at me, for help. It's like, do you
Yeah,
even know?
it definitely does become a downward spiral. And for anybody who does listen to our podcasts, the majority of you guys that Darcy and I were talking before this episode, we kind of were a little shocked that our Halloween special has 81 views. So we're gaining, yes,
Under
of
a
Dracula. We are gaining a little bit of traction, which is great. For anybody that from that specific episode, out of the 81 of you guys that do come back and you guys are listening to this episode, we definitely do appreciate you guys for taking the time to listen to our podcast.
Take the time out of your way and listen to our podcast. To
Yes.
like everyone who's liked and people who we no comments. We don't get as many comments, but we would really like to hear what you think or anything that you might like to hear us do or do anything. We're not here to promote the channel today, but when we're talking we're trying to tell you that we appreciate you. At least like on our Twitch, I say it all the time, almost every single stream that I do. I will tell the 59 people that are on my Twitch that I appreciate each and every one of you when you come on and you speak and you get to know me. I fucking love it. I absolutely do. I love just because I'm very introvert in real life, which can be difficult sometimes, but when I'm online, I don't really do anything. It sounds back, but I'm not being. It's different online. I don't know if I've discussed it with you, but I've discussed it with a lot of people where you can actually be yourself online because you're in your own home usually, surrounding, so you can be yourself and you can show the people your true self. If you get
Absolutely.
me, not like I'm false or anything.
But guys, for the ones who have come back and are listening to this episode, we want you guys to know that you guys are not alone. There are people out there that do feel the exact same way you do, especially during this time of the year. And as a community, we want to be supportive of you guys as you guys are towards us and help each other out, especially mentally. We want to be there for you guys. We want to be able to support you guys and, just be out there. And again, you guys are more than welcome to us, and we'll get into that here in a second. But you guys are reach out to us in any way, shape, or form. We'll get into the details of how you can reach out to us here in a little bit. But you guys are more than welcome to reach out to us. Just ask us questions. Just talk to us. If you just need somebody to listen to and write a 5-page paragraph, go ahead. Get it off your chest. But the world does need a little bit or a lot of it more of kindness and understanding. And we just want you guys to know that whether you are spending time with loved ones, family, or and I honestly I hate to say it this way, but if you guys don't have the support, the loved ones, or anything like that, we are here for you. And Darcy, that goes for you as well. I am here for you. You got Bobby, you got the little guy, but you are more than welcome to always reach out to me. As always, we do it on a daily basis. We have become great friends, and at this time, I consider you as family. So you are more than welcome to always reach out to me at any time. But yeah, at any point in time, we're always there for each other. And this is what this time of the year needs, is people who are going to be there for each other and people who are going to, just need to be kind to one another. This world is.
You just quoted the song from Friends.
Yes.
Was that nice? People think we've been friends for ever, though. That's the thing. They would talk. You would think that we haven't even known each other a year. People would be like so
Well,
fucking
that
surprised.
is there's a saying out there, and I see partial of the saying in one of the questions you do have at the bottom, but blood does not make family.
No, it doesn't.
It truly doesn't. I don't care if I've known you for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. You could be family more than my own family is, not being blood related. So
Some people don't realize that though. That see, because you spend so much time on technology these
yeah,
days, that you end up building better relationships, in my honest opinion. There is some toxic shit out there. What the fuck isn't? There's toxic shit in real life as well without technology. And humans are crazy. So they are. Dean said it himself, so it must be
yes.
true.
Um,
Sorry.
I think the I
So
think the
yeah,
only
that's what I was.
thing that technology doesn't cater to is the fact of, unless you're sending daily pictures of people or yourself to other people that you become good friends with or something like that. If you were to ever meet them and you haven't sent a picture, I think the shock and awe value of
But do I not sound like my? Does my voice
no,
not match up with my body? Is it
no,
because you
it
thought I
definitely
was a
does.
man?
It definitely does. But no, it's just with
Sorry.
the internet and the technology, you don't always get the visuals as you would seeing somebody in person to talk to them.
Oh, you mean like
Oh yeah,
catfishing?
catfishing. Yes.
I was just like confused because I was sitting going, I went all Karen and Peggy Hill with my two hands on my hips going, excuse me, what did you mean by that? I am no Karen, but hey. Or maybe it was
Yeah,
a
it could be a
Kevin. Who
Kevin. You
knows?
absolutely know. It could be a Kevin, Karen. Yeah, it's just you don't get that same physical being while you're there with somebody compared to just talking to them over the internet. I mean, you've seen pictures of me and my son and everything like that because we are friends. So I do show to you and stuff like that.
Showed you one of my
Yes.
vampire pictures.
Rar.
This is how I used to go to
So,
work. Used to go to
but
work like that.
guys, like I said previously, we are here as just a community. So, our community's not that big as of right now, but that doesn't mean if it were to ever get bigger that we're going to just start shutting people out and not talking to everybody. We'll talk to everybody all the time as much as we can.
We said that we're not going to be like one of those channels. There's a few channels, I'm not even going to say, but you probably know what I'm thinking about, that before they got to the number that they're on the now, you could literally put a comment on one of their videos and they would comment back. Now they don't, and they act like it's like they only deal with either their YouTube members or the people that pay or Patreon or whatever. They will associate themselves with them, but not the actual community that's literally, there all the time, no
I
matter
wonder
what.
who you could be
And
talking
that's what kind
about.
of annoys me. There's a few. I follow a
So
few
do I.
people who, since they've got that, literally some of them are over 1 million now, and they went straight to their head. I don't ever
No,
want to be that. I've never
no,
been that
we're
person ever, and I don't ever
if
want
if
to be
this
like that. If I do, you can fucking tell me,
yes, I
calm
mean
the
if
fuck
this
down.
if this channel does
Okay.
ever grow to well over 1 million, which that would be pretty cool, honestly. But if it were to ever grow that large, yeah, I know we'll have thousands upon thousands of messages, stuff like that, comments, but we'll still reach out to you guys as best as we can, and we're not going to let this stuff go to our head because that's not who we are. We're just here to have a good time and to be a part. And like I said, we do want to doing live podcasts as well, to where eventually at some point we want to be able to interact with you guys, back and forth, chitter chatter, and just be able to sit there and talk back and forth, between her and I, and then looking at the chat as well and being able to answer questions throughout the chat. We do eventually want to start doing that. It's just our biggest feat is a ocean between us.
Exactly. I used to be very issues with my insomnia, but since obviously I've been really ill since July, June, July time. I've not really been able to actually stay up to do my own streams and stay up and be up all night. But we still
Yes.
make it work though.
So, but yeah, we just want to be there for you guys. And I know this is, if me doing this next part of the paragraph, I know it'd be in third person, but I'll switch it up. But Darcy and I are from different parts, and yet we are so similar, even though we don't have the same holidays, or the same holidays, etc. But we are here for one another. Instead of saying you'll be there for someone, if you can't be there for the good and the bad parts of their life, don't write checks you can't cash. And that's absolutely true. Guys, if you're gonna tell somebody, be there for them. Don't tiptoe around saying it and then turn your backs at the very last minute. If you're gonna be there for someone, please be there for them, because you don't know what that person's going through, and they could quite honestly need you more than you honestly know.
Because how many times has someone said that to you though? And I don't take it. When someone says that to me, I just go meh. Because there's just been, not saying you, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about, see, like in like real life, depending on who says it to me usually. They're like, see, when people come up to me and say, I've been a shitty friend, I don't say, oh no, I go, yes, you were. And I'm not going to say nice things to make you feel better when you're the one who let me down. If it was the other way about, then you'd, you know what I mean, they should be on their foot now. And that's why I get so annoyed when people say to me, like, I've been a shit friend or I've not been very good to you. And I go, no, you haven't. I don't do that pandering anymore. I'm not going to like
No,
massage someone's ego
absolutely
for
not.
being a douche to me when I'm fucking low.
That is also one thing too, guys. That probably should be in the disclaimer as well. But I'll say it now. We are very blunt. We are very honest. So, if you guys do want to, talk to us, message us, whatever, and you guys want advice or anything like that, the one thing that Darcy and I will not do is we will not coddle your feelings and tell you what you want to hear. We're going to tell you what is needed.
We're the person, like, when shit goes down, you should show up with, like, usually booze or weapons. It's like, what kind of party is this? You know what I mean? We're not the ones going, oh, let's go for a hug and sing Kumbaya. No, nope, no. It's like, we need to do
Yes.
that. What
Now,
is it we're doing?
granted,
Is it party first? Party
there
first?
are
Deal with it?
parts and times that yes, a hug is needed.
I am not. I don't want one. I'm sorry, but I don't.
But again, we're not going to coddle feelings. We're going to tell you straight. We're going to tell you how it is. We're going to tell you what's needed instead of what you want to. So just remember that when you guys want to message us. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm not saying that to be an ass. I'm saying that to be honest and truthful.
Exactly. It was a question that I had wrote whether both of us would maybe answer it, but also if you would like to answer it in the comments. The countdown to fun, yet it feels like the countdown to done or for done for us, because the minute you start, like we said it halfway through this podcast, is the minute you hear that couple of
Yep.
notes of that infamous annoying song that, oh my god, Mariah Carey, you must get loads of fucking royalties, man. You can't be poor ever. If she's poor, then it hits September, October time, then you start fucking hearing it. Then it's literally to January. So she gets 3 months of what the world playing her
Yes.
song. So she's never gonna be poor. I hated it the first time around, and I hate it every fucking 300 million time it's fucking played in a fucking shop or on the radio or the fucking TV. What? Sorry, I don't like it. I absolutely hate
If you
it.
cannot tell, that's where our feelings lie.
Yeah, I'm not into Mariah Carey. Which, again, you should know if you've saw my Twitch stream. There's no way that I'm a Mariah Carey.
Oh, couldn't tell between the other one. She doesn't even get
The other
recognition.
one,
The other one.
I have no idea which other one.
Swift.
Oh, she needs a swift hit to the balls.
Yes.
So she does. Tunty McTunt face?
Yes.
Aye, definitely.
How don't people understand what it's like to
So,
feel alone
like,
when you are full of people? Um, we did, yeah, we
people
did, and we
simply
didn't
don't.
touch on this one a tiny bit. But it's just a matter of people definitely don't have the sense of visuals or attention that people will literally just be in a room and feel like they are alone because somebody or people or family doesn't really acknowledge their presence. Yes.
Existence. It's not just the fact that you feel alone, it's literally like sometimes you feel like you're fucking invisible and you're just like, hello, I'm fucking standing
Yes.
right here. If you're going to say anything about me or anything, say it to my fucking face. That's pretty much what it was every Christmas with my mum's family, and it's like, fucking say what you say to
Yes.
my face. Or don't say
Absolutely.
anything at all.
The next one we definitely covered, and we covered it pretty well. I think what I said literally is the only thing that is needed
Yep.
to be covered on that one. Family does not have to be blood.
Yep. Yep. Also, how toxic people aren't worth focusing your energy on, because again, they're living in your head for rent free. So if you can just get rid of it is difficult. I've done it myself. I've done it to two sides of my family, including my brother as well. We weren't close growing up. Like when I became like because he was older. So I literally cut them all off because if you don't have me in minds, as I put it, me in mind's best interest, then I don't see the point in
You're absolutely
doing
right.
the same for you. So that's why I get rid of them. So if you feel you have to cut out toxicity, don't fucking feel bad about it. If it's going to make you feel better and going to do something positive for you, then fuck them. Just fucking just walk the fuck away and just act like they don't exist. I'd rather they acted like that I wasn't on this planet, put it that way. I'd rather they did that. I told them to do that. So it makes my life a hell of a lot easier, put it that way, because I don't have to be nice to people who don't have my best interest and my family's best interest.
Absolutely. Why do people become monsters, especially around the holidays? Well,
Mariah
yes.
Carey.
All right, next question. That doesn't even need to be in there. No. It.
Do
I.
you agree with this in the comments below? Are we being far too hard on Mariah Carey now?
But it's not only that. It's always the stress between having the money for Christmas, having the money for the holidays, having the money for presents and everything like that, and then that last minute shopping because there's always that one person that cannot remember to grab everything first time through that they got to go out, and then they get so pissed off because guess what? It's no longer available. And it turns them
No
into the
shit.
biggest
That's so annoying.
biggest a-holes in the world.
That it's your fault they didn't get it, and it's like, no, you fucking forgot. Don't blame anybody else. Have accountability,
Exactly.
please. Get a fucking adult. Deal with it. That doesn't really happen here because our shop shut really, really early on Christmas Eve.
Well, see,
You can't get a supermarket open
See,
after
it
6 o'clock.
used to be pretty bad over here because I know you guys got Costco and stuff like that. Um I'm not sure like where the nearest Walmart is to you, if you guys even have Walmart.
Walmart, Asda. Walmart is actually
Asda?
Asda.
Okay.
Yeah.
So over here it used to be they would stay open till about 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve. Shut down
No, 6.
shut down
5
for
or 6.
Christmas. But at one point in time, this was I think way before COVID hit or whatever. Um, they would reopen back at midnight. I guess technically it'd be the day after Christmas because our WalMarts were open 24 hours. But they would open back up at midnight. And you're like, oh, well, who's going to want to go out at midnight? I've done it a couple times.
Oh god,
It
that
was
must have been
horrible.
scary as fuck.
But it
People are
wasn't
mental.
It wasn't the
Oh,
fact of I was going to Walmart at midnight to return gifts, stuff like that, but the amount of people who would literally go through Christmas, stay up till midnight, just to sit in the customer service area to return everything that somebody had got them because it didn't fit, they didn't like it, or they just didn't care, they just wanted the money, was astronomically stupid. And that's one thing that pissed me off. Be appreciative of what was given to you, whether it was a $5 gift, a $10 gift. Be appreciative because you don't know what that person's struggle is. You don't know if they just had to pay a hefty expense of car repairs or home repairs or whatever it was, or you don't know.
you just don't know.
So maybe,
And also, don't knock a homemade gift either, especially if someone bakes for you, cooks for you, or makes you something. Because I do a lot of that stuff as well, because that takes weeks of preparation. A lot of the stuff you're making, sometimes months, depending if you're making like Christmas cakes and stuff. They take
yeah,
about 6 months because all the alcohol you put inside them. So. But
alcohol.
still, it's literally don't. No, one of my mum's cake, one of the recipes I've got, you actually add alcohol, a tablespoon of alcohol every day for like 3 months
Whew.
or something like that. With it, when you light it on fire, it literally it goes in fire.
So yeah, I used to go to Walmart just to watch like the massive crowds of people try to fight over stupid shit, and it was hilarious.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that's a drinking game. You could literally sit there in your car and just get pissed. Just leave your car there, sit in a stranger's car, just
if
randomly
it
watch
if
the
it
shit
was a
going
drinking
on.
game, I probably would
That is
have
hilarious.
gave up after like 2 minutes of sitting in the parking lot. But
What, looking
yes,
like a bum drinking at
but
Christmas?
they stopped reopening the stores at midnight, and Walmart's, at least down here in South Carolina, they're not open 24 hours anymore. So I don't think they are anywhere else now. So I think literally they open up 6 or 7 a.m. the next day, and then that just makes it worse because now everyone's awake.
Oh, we have why right, so we did why do people right, why are there people out there still trying to sabotage your happiness, including hurting themselves in the process, all to just ruin everything for everyone else? I'm not talking about someone essing themselves type thing. I'm just talking about people who are just going out of their way to do the most extreme obscure shit so they can just take the attention away from everybody because they've got to
Because
have
they
it.
do not like
And
to see other people happy. I will say that wholeheartedly and the truth.
I said, do you have a relative or a
Yes,
parasite that does this to you? I call I call a few people a parasite. It might be horrible, but if you've been subjected to what they've been fucking dishing out for a long time, then you would call them probably much worse things. I think parasite actually describes them best because they literally are an entity within an entity that's a douche that basically wants to draw absolutely everything out for themselves for their own pleasure. I think a lot of the
yeah,
time, and
it's
I don't
literally
like it.
people do that just because they don't like seeing people have more gains than you. They don't like seeing people happier than themselves. They want to make people as miserable as themselves, and that's honestly the truth in that one. That's terrible, but
Terrible.
it's the truth, and people need to realize if they were more happier with themselves, they'd go a lot further to be happier for everybody else, and they'd get a lot further in life.
It's kind of similar to what I know Matthew Perry died last week. In his book, he said sorry things about the different goals in your life. You reach these goals or you surpass these goals, and they're not. And then because he's had a different life to everybody else, he's just basically saying that those goals that he thought were important to him, like having stability, money, being successful, are actually the worst goals you can actually fucking have because they're
Yep.
toxic and they make people monsters. And then he's trying to explain that, see, if someone came to me and said, I really want to quit drinking, he's like, right, okay, we'll do this because he's been through that himself. when he said he'd rather help a random stranger than deal with Hollywood, basically, and all that shit. He said he'd rather help a fellow human, basically, than deal with that fucking lifestyle. Because yes, it made him famous, but it also made him incredibly unhappy, and he was an addict to what prescription medication. He ended up destroying his health because of it, and then we don't even know what the hell happened. I have my own thing that what I think happened that way, because he was a very unhappy guy who was just trying to find happiness in a quiet life at the end of the day, and he just, again, like he said, success is a fucking it's a monster. And that's what I feel about every day, that I would rather help someone who needed my help than deal with all these false a-holes, basically, asshats, that wouldn't have my best interest or my son's best interest or my husband's best interest or my puppy's, nothing like that. If you've not got your best interest for me and mine, then again, said it. And
Yep.
you feel the exact same way. It's like, if you don't have the best for me and my son, then that's it. Do you know what I mean? No. You don't have the best for me, then you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm better off without you. Go and do whatever the fuck you want to do, but just don't bring me into it. Keep me the fuck out. I'm doing a hand gesture and it's making me look like a dictator. I don't have my webcam on, so it's not like you can see me doing it, and I'm really bad for doing that. If I'm doing hand gestures, by the way, on streams, it's because I'm talking to you. Just give me a word. The hand gestures are all yours. Which sounds wrong. Not like I'm being dictated to you or whatever. But no, that's what I wanted to cover with that. That I thought that was a really good thing that
Absolutely
he
was. I mean,
in his book.
he himself had a lot of stuff that he went through his career, through his life. But the number one thing was he always stayed positive.
Yeah, and it's so hard to, especially when you've got health concerns, and like he said, he struggled with addiction, and he was
Yeah.
so open with it. He didn't care who he was not one of those celebrities that literally did, oh, I can't talk about it. He was just like, no, Robert Downey Jr. is kind of the same as well. He's pretty open about his addiction as well, or his past addiction and the shit. And I like how they just don't want to hide the fact that I was a dickhead and I was a user. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not like that now, and he's went from a really good, successful actor to basically no one want to fucking touch him, like he's covered in shite. And then look at him now. And I still like the fact that he again tries to put good back in the world. Again, you've got Brad Pitt who does that as well. He does good. He doesn't want, like during the pandemic, he was actually handing out food and water across America with a mask on that you couldn't even fucking tell it was him. Then someone noticed him smoking, and they took a picture of him, just ruined a good deed that he wanted to go
absolutely.
basically
And
unnoticed.
And if you think about Robert Downey Jr., a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people do know, but yes, he was an addict for one. Two, he was a failed actor. Not only due to the addiction, but he was a failed actor due to, I want to say, a lot of the roles that he was put in. But at the same time, yeah, typecast, but at the same time, it was just because he was an addict as well. It's kind of that 50-50. And it wasn't because, but it was.
It was the 80s. It was the 80s, and things, yes, they were acceptable and stuff, but there were still things like, maybe you shouldn't do that when we're trying to sell
and then going through years before he was put into a decent role. He
that was apparently Johnny
Depp.
He that got him.
He tried and tried to become put back on the correct path, and then I can't remember, because a lot of people will probably say his breakout role was Iron Man, but it wasn't.
It was the Elton John video, was it not?
I can't remember, because he did have another role before that or after that. I can't remember. That was very successful, and I think it was called The Piano. That it was him and Jamie Foxx. And then
see, everybody always says it's Iron Man or Elton John. Do you know, because he's in the music video.
But then turn it around.
Holy shit balls! Are you kidding me? Right now it's fucking. Oh, because they're just like, I'm that old.
Because you got to think
Holy shit.
Obviously, yes, he starred in Iron Man, and Iron Man came out 2008.
So that actually is. Well, they would have been filming that for years, would they or not? Because of the way
But Iron
technology
Man came
is.
out in 2008. Avengers Endgame came out in 2019. That's 17 years right there. But that also doesn't include how many other movies that he was in between that. So you had the Avengers, you had Spider-Man, you had all these other movies that he was in. I think it was 23 movies, not 23 years. But he had all these that he played in, to where you could tell from literally his addiction to then, to where it was a huge change in his life.
Yeah.
And you also got to think too, look at another movie that literally came out a year after Iron Man did. Sherlock Holmes, that he played in. I honestly
He's
feel
really
as
good.
if Sherlock Holmes was, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the BBC version of Sherlock Holmes.
No, we
I
Cumberbatch.
I did care for it. I did
Oh
enjoy it, but
no,
I honestly think Robert Downey
that one looks
Jr.'s
like a better.
version is the best for Sherlock Holmes.
You don't think what's his face that I usually want to slap in real life is a good Sherlock? Then I won't even say his name. Enola Holmes.
Oh,
Don't say his name. Don't give
no,
him the recognition. Do you
no.
think he's a good Sherlock? Yes! Oh my god! I can't believe I got negative head stuff. Oh, this is such
I
a
honestly,
great
I
day.
don't think he did. I don't think he honestly, and it sucks to. It honestly hurts me to say this.
It
Well,
actually hurts you to say that.
because of me being the superhero guy that likes the movie, I honestly thought Millie Bobby Brown did
Yeah.
a lot better job of Holmes than what he did, and it hurts me to say it because the only thing I think she really did good in is playing 11 in Stranger Things.
I don't think she's played anything very well.
But that's literally all I have to say about that. But yes, no, I will still choose till this day Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes.
I just don't like Guy Ritchie. He's a director. He's a bit of a
I could
cunt,
agree
to
with
be
you on that
honest.
one.
I just can't be
But you can
bothered.
just see, and I mean, even before Iron Man came out, Junior had a lot of movies that were big name movies that he doesn't get a lot of recognition for until after Iron Man. You got Zodiac that came out in 2007. You had A Scanner Darkly. You had
Yeah,
Gothica.
that was good actually.
Um,
Yes, that was
yes,
awesome. That movie.
there's a bunch of other ones too.
I didn't engage it.
Um,
I want to see him as a proper. Really dark sounds bad. I know we're probably talking about movies. I don't care. It was going to happen. This is a mental health episode, yes, but we do love movies and we can't fucking help it. It's just pretty much ingrained in
yes,
DNA to talk about shit like this. We can't help it. It's like movies are like Tourette's does. I'm sorry, but we'll literally go on about it. Just randomly shout
yep,
out shit about movies and not even. It's like because it's like you're not here and I've got no one to fucking like high five about that. Do you know what I mean? It's just like what the fuck. Not like I'd high five. I'd probably give you a fist bump from the other side of the room or something like that, or air five. But but yeah, the I want to see
yes,
him as like a dark kind of Jack the Ripper type serial killer, like a
yes,
Victorian
absolutely. And I think
serial
it would be
killer.
perfect for him because he's already basically played in a Victorian time as Sherlock
Victorian
Holmes.
theme.
So,
And he has the accent, he can pull it off the way they would speak. And also when he dressed, like you could imagine being Jack the Ripper with the
oh, like
top
when he did in
hat
Doolittle.
and like top. Yeah, exactly. Like light Doolittle, but do like a kind of dark, or even do like Jekyll and Hyde type thing. But I think he'd be a good like Jack the Ripper. But if they did a Jekyll and Hyde thing, I think if it was like a mad
Yes,
scientist that literally lost his mind and went in a killing spree type thing, like Jack the Ripper was like Jekyll and Hyde. Do you get what I mean? it just shows that you can bounce back. Just think where they were, basically, in their life, to stoop that fucking low, to end up basically thinking that they were never going to
Yep.
work again. You never know what was going through their brain, even though they think people went to rehab, people went to therapy, people went to all these places, and look where they are now. Yes, they have maybe money and they have success, and they've used their friends to kind of like, their friends have like kind of like built them up basically, because they're like, nah, this is not happening. This is what we're trying to do. Might not make you Hollywood if you want that, but we'll sure as shit
Yes.
be here. Do you know what I mean? When shit goes down, it's the friend that literally we think you turn your back and you're against the wall. No, you're no. There'll be
Yeah.
somebody
I
there.
mean,
That's what you want to
and
fucking
to
hear.
be honest, I won't say his name, but The Witcher. There is one movie that I actually did like him in, like wholeheartedly. I like the movie more for the movie more than the actors, and that was The Man from UNCL.
Oh, that
I
film was
liked it.
shit. I fell asleep. I
I
fell
actually
asleep.
enjoyed it, and to be
That was some
honest,
terrible acting from
and to be
Armie
honest, it
Hammer.
wasn't even because of him. It was actually because of the
Unnamed individual who will be seen nameless for.
well,
Yeah.
you're sitting there talking about The Witcher. I'm actually talking about the other guy, the British guy.
That is the British guy. Armie Hammer's the American guy.
Is he? I thought it was.
Armie Hammer plays the French guy, and he went up for the French guy's part because Tom Cruise was supposed to play Napoleon Solo. Then he went off to do Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Then Tunty McTuntface got Napoleon Solo, and Armie Hammer became the French character. So who's it you're trying to talk about?
You're
Because there's
right.
no
I was
one.
getting it mixed up for some reason.
But he went for the apparently the audition for the French guy. Obviously, his French must be shit.
But
A French
I'm
accent was
also
shit
a big
because
fan of Jared Harris, Hugh Grant, and Sylvester Groth. That was another reason why I loved watching those movies. That movie in general, because I do absolutely Jared Harris. I think he is a very, very, very underrated and very talented actor.
oh, that's him as in Resident Evil and Foundation,
Yes,
innit?
and he also played the doctor in, I don't know if you've seen it, but Morbius.
Morbius, yes. I'm trying to think of everything. He was. See, I knew him from like really old,
Yeah,
like British stuff that he was in. Like it wasn't like huge, and then his just name was everywhere. Cause see his accent. Me and my hobby
yes,
absolutely love him. So when you see like there's something we watched it, we heard his voice, and I said,
but
"That's that guy from Resident Evil. That's that
he
guy."
also,
I was
I
like,
mean, I'll just point this out there because the one reason why I know him a little too well, one is Resident Evil. I'll just say that wholeheartedly. But he also played a very, very, very good James Moriarty in Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes.
yes, he did.
But
He was
he
brilliant
also,
in that, man.
again, I know, guys, we are going off on a tangent, and this will be, I think, part of the podcast episode. But he also,
This is where we
yes,
go
we
awry.
also are the people that hate remakes, reboots, and stuff like that. But he did play in the remake of Poltergeist.
Yes, but again, lots of people have
Yes,
stooped
but
that
I
low.
mean, he
They
definitely
really
has
have.
played, and he
Good
also
money.
played in a movie that is not my favorite movie, but it is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and it was Lady in the Water. Out of all of them, that's not my favorite M. Night movie. He's played in Mr. Deeds,
Mr. Deeds
yes,
with Adam
as
Sandler.
Mac McGrath.
I love that movie.
Um, Fuzzy Logic, that was another one. That was 1998. I loved Fuzzy Logic, and it was only a short. It wasn't a full movie.
I like what you're talking about.
No, that's
No.
Jared
Who's it you're talking
Harris.
about in Mr. Deeds? Oh, he's a
He
guy called,
also
yeah.
played
It's just the other
in one of
actor.
my all-time favorite movies that was released in 1998, and that was Space.
Lost in Space. I had
It
such a
did.
good soundtrack, so it did that movie.
Um, and He is.
62? Oh, does not look that age.
So, but no, that is one of those. He's one of those actors that I will continue to watch over and over and over again. And just because he does have that amazing accent, he's got that dark and gritty, raspy voice. And there's just a bunch of other things that come along with him that he's just, in my opinion, good actor. Great actor.
Oh yeah, he's a familiar voice, like your
Yes.
Kiefer Sutherland voice. You
Yes.
always know that voice. I think I've said it a few times. There's certain few actors that you literally don't have to see them, and that's what it's like when you hear
Yep.
Kiefer Sutherland in Phone Booth. Didn't need to see him.
Yeah, you knew that
fucking
voice
knew who
right
it
away.
was. It's Christian Slater. He's got a really, really prominent voice as well. You know who that
Yep.
is.
And
when
I
he
mean
starts
that's
talking, especially the way he
and
talks
that's
to
the same way
hers.
with Mr. Star-Lord himself. Man Crush, Mr. Ryan Reynolds, when he played Pikachu in Detective Pikachu.
Never. Oh, he was
Yes.
brilliant in
But
that,
you
man.
could automatically tell, even though they tried to change his voice up, you could still
Yeah.
tell it was Ryan Reynolds. That was the sad part about it.
Oh, you could. You would just expect him to say something like, "Did I up?" Was it? Is it? It's like, "Shh."
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like you expect them to just do something. Do you know what I mean? That's what I absolutely
Yep.
loved about that film. I went to see it with my kid because
Yeah.
my kid loves Pokemon, and
Well, I mean, I grew up on Pokemon,
spoiler,
so
like,
I had to watch it.
no, I didn't. I love how you say you had to watch it. Like there was nothing else to watch. You probably had more channels than we did here in the UK,
So when
without having
I
Sky.
don't have anything to do, I literally binge watch movies or TV series that I think I'm gonna like. But going through the Netflix list, that's literally like, besides doing the podcast with you, playing games or whatever, that's my getaway. So I've seen the majority of everything that's either Netflix, on Tubi, on Hulu, Amazon Prime. I've seen the majority of everything. So when it comes to some of these movies that may not be great, or I might have skipped over them 1,000 times because I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna like it, I'll go back and I'll end up watching it. And sometimes I'll be surprised and be like, oh shit, this was actually good. And other times be like, that's why I didn't watch it in the first place. Like, we'll go with one that I will rewatch now numerous times because it turned out to be a really good movie, and that's the No.
What? Sorry, because you broke
I
up
muted
there.
the mic. I started to cough. That's the Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yeah, that was good though.
It doesn't really have. It has two actors in it. One's more well known than the other one is. Because Amelia Hirsch is more known for like The Girl Next Door, stuff like that.
Oh, I remember that film. Yay.
But
yeah, I did. Got a big smile on my face.
but the other gentleman that in it, he's a bit older, but that is Mr. Brian Cox. Yep,
Yes,
and
Brian Cox,
he's got lists upon lists of movies. So I mean, he's a great actor alone. But he's another well-known one that's in there, but excuse me. A lot of people didn't watch the movie because it did definitely seem like it was a B-rated movie. But turns out that B-rated movie actually was a lot better than most B-rated movies, and I'll go back and
are you coughing?
it was. I still got I wouldn't say a bug, but I still got a cough.
Alright, my fucking computer's just decided to Play YouTube. It's because if I roll my mouse, it does it. I've
So,
just switched it. I was trying to find something for you actually.
but
Send you.
guys, I know we kind of got off on a little bit of a tangent at the end there about movies, but
But it was
yes, it was
lighthearted at the
lighthearted.
end. So
But that's
like,
us.
oh, oh,
Okay.
I have a good one. Feel good, not feel good movie, right? But see, like when you're feeling like shit, what horror movie or any movie do you feel either expresses how you feel and makes you feel good or better, or can take you to a place even for like the second where basically even for like maybe seconds it actually makes you even feel that you're not feeling those types of feelings anymore. Like if you are anxious or you have depression or you have any sort of mental health problem, is there a movie that makes you feel that you aren't feeling that for like even a second? It makes you think that no, you're not that person.
Deadpool. It's mine's Deadpool for. I like both of them,
Which
but
one?
the first one by far. It's comical. There is blood and gore, but it's comical. And if you can't get a crack, if you can't crack a smile or a little chuckle just because of how Ryan Reynolds is in that movie, then you have no sense of humor. And that's hard to say because a lot of people just love apps. I mean, the first weekend he box officed over $1 billion for that movie, so it must have been well liked.
Wow. For me, just always the same types of movies that I'll just go, I'm just going to watch that. And I like, again, which is weird, it's Evolution
Okay,
with David
yeah, okay.
Duchovny.
I
It's
I definitely will
funny,
agree.
and there's just loads of. And David Duchovny, I like seeing him in funny stuff because I like Californication and things like that. So it's really nice to actually see him not going from spooky Mulder or creepy guy who talks to the dog about people's sexual fantasies and awakenings when he did the Red Shoe Diaries. I have watched many, probably them all, who knows. It was the 90s, what can I say? So it's Evolution. It's a film I can watch over and over again. And I'll still watch it even on my computer. I still usually watch it at least once a year. And I don't know what it is that just makes me just piss myself laughing. I think it's where the bug goes in him, that scene. And always
Oh yeah,
caca, caca. Because Sean William Scott was
caca, caca.
Harry Block. Yeah. I think Tuki Tuki and caca caca isn't working. And then he sings You Are So Beautiful to Me. That's so funny. Oh god. That movie is just the best. Haven't seen it, watch it. Fucking hilarious. You will not be
Yes,
disappointed.
yes. I definitely can agree. Second with Deadpool.
Also, the yeah, uh, the dance off from American Wedding between Stifler
Yes,
and Bear always makes me laugh. I could watch that scene over and
yes.
over again as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But definitely Evolution would probably have to be my second because yeah, that movie is
A good
just
one.
feel good all around.
Hilarious. Yes, it is. And it's funny, and it's got what
Yep.
Juliana Moore in it is the guy who plays Zed from Pulp Fiction. No, yeah, from Pulp Fiction is in it as well. The
Yes.
general. Also, Phil Dunphy's in it as well from Modern Family. I realised that my
And then
husband
you
forgot
have
to
the
mention. But no,
uh
again, the guy from yeah, My Name Is Earl. I don't know.
yes, My Name is Earl.
He's in it. He's one of the.
I was actually thinking the butterfly effect, but yeah, My Name is Earl. Yeah.
He's the brother. The guy who's
Yeah, I
overweight
did
now,
see a picture of him recently on
basically.
Facebook about there's like 3 actors that don't look the same anymore. He's one of them, Rebel Wilson's another
Hmm.
one, and Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, but he's a
Yeah,
bit
oh yeah,
Irish
I've
in
heard
real life.
that's
So it's just
Channing Tatum didn't want to work with him anymore during the 21 Jump Street because of that.
poor Shannon. He's got ADHD. I'm surprised he can,
Right?
deal with anybody. Do you know what I mean? For him to come out and say that, man, it just shows how much of a dick
Yeah,
he
well,
must
I
be.
mean, I'm actually
We love
surprised he was
Shannon.
able to focus and do everything for Magic Mike.
Well, not really, because he did all the dancing and stuff
I mean,
before.
yeah, I guess that is true, but
He was a dancer
yeah,
first.
because he did what, Step Up, I think it was called.
Yeah, that's how he met
Yes,
his ex-wife,
which
Janet
I ain't gonna lie,
Kennison.
Step Up.
But she's
I did enjoy Step Up. I
I
don't
don't like
either,
stuff
but
like
I
that.
did enjoy that movie. It's a guilty
Everybody's
pleasure.
got to have them.
Sue
I
me.
watched the Jersey Shore, so don't. I will not. Do you know why? Do you want to hear the story about Jersey Shore? It's funny. I was pregnant, right, and I had run out of stuff to watch. It wasn't. I was pregnant. It was no. Yes, it was. Actually, no. Actually, Snooki and J-Way was on after. So no, it was literally a few years before I get pregnant. I wasn't well when I found out. Obviously, having to stay in bed and things like that, I had to watch stuff and play games. I played Eve constantly. So they were talking about a South Park episode where Snooki was in it. And I thought, like Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, I didn't think they were real people. I thought they were created by the creators of South Park. Didn't know they existed. Then my husband turned around to me with my friend and said, "No, that's a TV show. It's like Car Crash TV in America." And I was like, "No, that person can't exist."
Unfortunately,
I was
they
like,
do.
"Seriously?" I was like, and I was gonna say, like, she kind of reminded me of the troll dolls for the 80s. I wasn't saying that in like a disrespectful way because I actually like Snooki and J-Wow, and I do watch fucking the reunion of Jersey Shore. I don't give a fuck if you. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. It's my guilty pleasure, and if I want to watch it, I'll fucking watch it. Do I want to punch the situation every time it comes on screen? Yes.
I apologize.
But
You've had
I
to
do
been
get.
subjected to bad American TV.
Well, I think Sunset Beach is probably worse. That really bad daytime TV show. I rip the piss out of
Yeah,
them on
that's
every
like
new podcast.
she likes to
It'll be
watch 90 Day Fiance. I can't stand that show. 90
what?
Day
What is
Fiance.
this?
It is
I've never heard of
literally
that.
couples from, well, not couples. It's usually people from America having 90 days
Okay.
to get somebody who lives in a
Okay.
completely different country to get their fiance visa or their marriage visa to come live in the US or them go live over there.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't understand. That just makes no
It's because
sense.
it's their love of their lives and they have 90 days to get all this stuff done, and there's usually always,
What are they actually? Do they know the people first,
I
or is it
think
strangers?
they know each other first before they get put on, but I'm not 100% sure.
Right. Because I was just like a fucking perfect stranger and getting a fucking visa when people find it incredibly difficult.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
visas for
there's
most countries, and you're
there's
saying you can do it in 90 days.
I've been subjected to a lot of it. But there is
It's your
no,
guilty
it's
pleasure
not.
now. Don't lie.
There is one couple on there that I do like, and one of the guys is actually from the UK. I can't remember what part of the UK, but he is from the UK, and his visa has been keeps getting denied because of a altercation that he had.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Is
he's
it a
got a
criminal
criminal record
record?
because of the altercation. But it's not like it's not
That's
like
not
it's
going
a
away.
bad altercation. It's not like he murdered somebody or something like that. It was just a
It
it was a
doesn't.
yeah, I know,
It
but
doesn't
it's
really
just a
matter.
minor altercation. But just the way when you see them two together and everything like that, it's like now that's love, and they're still fighting as far as I know till today to try to get him to get that visa, and they're trying to find lawyers and stuff to do a workaround around the record.
Oh. Internet love,
Yeah,
is it not then?
but again, it's that right there is definitely not my. Now, if it
And apparently, yes, he says that. He says that, yet he knows about the couples. I didn't even know the TV show existed, mate. And I am a female. I have a vagina for crying
but
out loud.
there are there are certain aspects of the show that I do watch for, and that's usually the drama between the families because that's entertaining to watch.
Oh, yeah, that would
That
be
is entertaining to watch, but other than
that would
that, for all the other shit, I could care less about. But the drama between the families, I'm not really a person that likes watching TV. It's hilarious. And just some of the drama on there is absolutely, in my opinion, it's stupid because when you watch it, you're sitting there going, well, that makes no sense whatsoever. There should be no reason why they're fighting. It should literally be okay, you're right, I'm wrong, let's shut the fuck up about it. No. They blasted off into like 4 or 5 different episodes, and it becomes entertaining. It's a snowball effect, and it's fun to watch sometimes. Like I was gonna say, before we added the movies in there that we will go to watch just to kind of cheer us up. I know we got off into a little bit of a movie tangent. Again, this is us.
it happens.
This is us. If you
Exactly. It
guys
could have
did
been a
not
lot worse.
expect us to at least bring some movies into it at some point in time during this whole entire episode, then you guys haven't watched this long enough. You're gonna have to realize movies are what we deal with. This is what we love about things. Yeah, and
And music.
music.
So
But we did get off on a bit of a tangent. Okay. But guys,
yep.
this episode is to show you guys that we are a lighthearted community, that we are here for you guys, that we want to be here for you guys. It's not going to be an all day thing. It's not going to be a once a month thing. We're going to try doing it maybe once every couple months, especially after the holidays, and then we're going to be where we're going to be here for you guys more and more and more. You guys are able to reach out to us and talk to us. Okay? You guys are able to confide into us. Obviously, Darcy and I are partners, so if you message her or you message me and you guys have a situation that we don't know how to handle or something like that, the only person that we are going to talk to is each other. And then we will get back to you. We are a team, so keep that in mind. If there's something that we can't handle just ourselves, we're going to go to the other person to ask how the situation should be handled, or what advice could you give this person, or something like that. We are a team. This is how we operate. We don't keep anything from one another when it comes to this kind of stuff, and we're not going to. But we're still going to be here for you guys. We're not going to go blasting your guys' situations all over the internet and stuff like that. It's going to be between me, Darcy, and you guys. That's it. But if you guys would like to reach out to us, you can get a hold of us at confessionsfromthedarkside@gmail.com. Darcy has a Instagram, Behind the Mask Reviews.
And
I have an Instagram as well, which is Lunar X Rising. You guys can message me on there. I honestly, Confessions from the Dark Side on Twitter as well, or X. I'm sorry.
It'll be.
Yes,
It's going to be Twitter. Remember,
yes,
we were going to call it Twitter.
But you guys are more than welcome to reach out to us. When we go ahead, you guys can also put comments on here. If you guys are afraid to reach out to us, put comments out here. We'll reach out to you guys.
Exactly.
But at the same time, we are here for you guys. We are a community. We're gonna do our best to stay in touch with each and everybody on here and in the future as well. Not just now, it's going to be in the future. We're always going to be here for you guys. But if you guys have more pressing or serious topics that Darcy and I, in our power, cannot actually help in any way, shape, or form, whether it has to be any kind of domestics, thoughts, just anything of that nature. There are plenty of hotlines between here and the UK that you guys can call and talk to anonymously. I see one on here you have, actually the same kind of one that we have over here, titled the same as well, which is Samaritans. They do have a website you can go on. You can talk to people and chat with them. It doesn't have to be over the phone. If you're uncomfortable doing it that way, you can message them online, shoot them an email, chat with them. And then the UK has one to where it's a lot more anonymous, I'm assuming.
I've never used it. I've just never been that kind of sharer, really type person. Well, obviously I share
Yes.
things today, you know, but actual things, I don't tend
Yes.
to, as you know.
But
My God, I was really ill and
yes.
I didn't even tell you.
But the one for the UK is mind.org.uk/information-support/guides to support and services.
Yeah, it basically is a website that just literally shows you all the people you can contact, like Cam and stuff like that, and breathing space or safe space. I think Scotland's got a few different ones. I think there's maybe a thing you can put your postcode, or as you call it,
Zip
your
code.
is it your area zip code? Yeah, you put your area code. Oh, sorry, your postcode in, and sometimes some of them council. You can type in your postcode, and it will bring up services in your area, and like that's
and
part there.
guys, too, Darcy and I has talked about it. We're not one of those people that we don't go to church, but if you do have need or help, a lot of churches do offer that kind of help. Even just the pastors or preachers or whatever, they will sit down and just talk to you and just they'll try to guide you and give you advice. They're not going to try. A lot of them, I shouldn't say they're not going to, as I'm speaking all. A lot of them are just going to offer advice. They're not going to try getting you to get involved with their church, but there are a lot of them out there that will give you advice and try to help you through whatever you're going through. And again, that's what we want to be here for as well. Just message us if you guys want to talk about anything, and then we definitely will reach back out to you guys and talk to you guys. Do you have anything else to add?
But we just wanted to share our background and some of the things that we've had to go through personally to get us where we are today, and maybe that will maybe help to hear someone to hear that just because you might hear someone or see someone streaming or see them online, you don't know what the fuck they're going through. This is like my therapy. This is something that I enjoy doing. It makes me feel good. And when I actually realised that I said not about not doing a podcast this part of the week, because it was Halloween and I just thought I'd be too tired and I wouldn't have enough time. See, because I hadn't done one, I literally had to contact Lynn and say, "Do you want to do a podcast today?" Like a total geek. I hate using that word. But I was literally like, "Oh, I usually have a podcast on a Wednesday or Thursday." And it's just like,
quite honestly, I was today
no.
my last day off my little 6-day break from work, and when she got a hold of me, I was laying up on the couch all nice, comfy, cozy, and I'm sitting there. Well, sure, why not? So.
I get that. You're why not?
I missed you. You hush it.
Behavior, by the way.
Hush it.
Hush it. Oh God. That was pretty clean for you.
But guys, no matter what you guys are going through, just know that you guys are worth it. That whatever you guys are can be overcome in any situation, in any way. But you guys have to will it yourselves. And again, if we can be here to help you guys in any way possible, we will be. Know you guys are worth it. Know you guys that the feelings you guys are going through are temporary and they will pass. We will check up on you guys. We will always be here for you guys when you guys, as far as messaging us, you guys let us know when we can talk. If you guys want to even join a future podcast episode to sit here and talk to us about everything that's going on when we do these mental health, get a hold of us. Darcy and I will try to set something up between the two of us to get you guys on the podcast if there's anything you guys would like discuss.
Or you think, or maybe you want to do something that you feel is not discussed enough. and maybe bring it to your attention, other people's
Absolutely.
attention.
Or
Even.
if you guys just want to get on comms with just Darcy and I, no recording, no nothing, just to have the voice recognition of us being here. We could quite possibly look into doing something like that as well. Again, her and I are by far grief counselors because we are blunt, and we'd probably be fired the first day if we ever did become grief counselors, because we would probably tell people just to suck it the fuck up and get the fuck over it. But
Well, I do have a Discord for my channel where we have actually created threads that are actually for checking in, stuff to do with mental health, and just whatever you want to share. And like, I don't have closed DMs. I do keep them open. I do monitor them. So no D-pics, thanks, because I will literally show them to my husband, and he's not
no,
going to
and
be
they got to be
interested.
butthole pics, guys. Then her
Oh, he
husband
might.
gets really happy.
No, he.
I had to say it.
Sorry, dick pics apparently is a crime to send somebody now
They are.
in the
I
UK.
definitely know they are in the UK.
So,
But that was, and I had to say
but I'm
it.
just saying, anybody who sends me inappropriate pictures, I'll just show them to my husband because I don't hide anything from him. So anything I get, he sees. So I'm just like, meh.
Yeah,
There's a time and a place for those type of pictures, but it's not in
and it's
2023
not for Darcy or
apparently.
myself.
I can't. I say it the way I say it because you have to. It's a double R roll. I can't say that because of my speech issues I've got. Never
Yes,
been
you
able to
gotta
roll my R's
roll the
properly.
R's, and I can't even roll the R's.
I can't.
I'm American.
I
Okay.
can't. Right, you're not supposed to use American.
There's only a few
Is
cultures
that what
that
you are?
I know roll the
You're
R's very well, and the Latino culture is one of them.
Italian. Yeah. They
They
have a
do.
lot of words with R's though
They
everywhere. I'd be fucked if I was born there. By the way,
uh,
there's no way I'd be speaking ever. Well,
yeah,
she's
right.
mute.
But guys, we will check in on you guys. You guys, again, are more than welcome to message us through the links that we have given you. confessionsfromthedarkside@gmail.com. Me on Instagram, her on
And the social
Instagram,
media platforms.
the Twatter, we're on that as well, at Confessions from the Dark Side. And we do also have a Instagram for Confessions from the Dark Side as well. You guys are more than welcome to reach out to us anytime. We do obviously live in two parts of the world, so timing will be different. So, yeah,
Get one of
you'll
the
reach out.
US
If you can't reach
usually.
out to one, reach out to the other, and vice versa. And if one of us can't reach you guys, the other person will. And then we'll get
Exactly.
back to you as soon as we possibly can.
And then the chain of screaming will commence, but I just harass Luna
Yeah,
until
pretty
he wakes the
much.
fuck up or
Yep, pretty
answers his
much.
fucking phone.
So,
Because I messaged him a big paragraph in the morning just to annoy him.
I love it though. It's not annoying. I mean, the other day I woke up and popped onto my Discord and seen that I had 9 notifications, and I'm like, oh, so I'm like,
Like a stalker. Oh
right the
my god,
road.
like
I
a
must have uploaded
stalker.
a video. Somebody must have gave me it. No, it was 9 messages from Darcy.
Like a stalker.
See, Darcy and I are both married, but we stalk each other.
Wow.
It's weird.
It's because I got an idea and I've got to tell you
Yes.
before it goes out my head. Use a
We both we
dog for
both do
fuck's
that
sake,
all the time,
especially
guys. Anytime
wife.
that her and I do get an idea, whether or not it's 10 o'clock at night my time, it'll be like 12, 3 her time.
3.
She's either
3.
getting close to waking up or she's
Yep.
still sleeping. It's
Just go to
there's
bed.
no in between. She's either getting up or
Just
she's
go to bed.
sleeping, or just going to bed. One of the 3. But I'll message her and I'll get something when she gets up, and then sometimes when I get up for work in the morning, it'll be 4 o'clock my time, so it'd be 9 o'clock her time, and she will have sent me 3 paragraphs, 5 ideas, and some other stuff, which I don't mind. It's just I crack up every time. I'm like, well, 8 messages? Bet you Darcy message. Click it and poof, Hey, look, there's Darcy's picture. So, but again, guys, we're going to be here for you guys. If you guys do want to be a part of her Discord for her safe space to be able to talk about stuff, contact her, get a hold of it. Until the next one, I'm Lunar Rising.
Darcy Darkness, later.
Later.